What's up, everyone? Trent here.
Along with Julia.
And welcome to episode 11 of the Fortress podcast. Now, it has been a very busy couple of weeks for us, so we haven't got our podcast out as normal.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, but if you are new to the channel, I know we have a lot of new subscribers, and hopefully you enjoy the content that we put out. I'm Trent. I'm the Oz Comic Nerd. That's my Instagram handle, and I basically dabble into the world of comic books and everything pop culture. Anything nerdy is basically my expertise. And tell the audience a bit about yourself.
So I'm Julia, aka Gem Cosplay AUS.
With
all
underscores.
So I dabble in the world of cosplay, comics, nerdiness. I'm expanding my horizons. I am a massive Harry Potter nerd. Yeah,
Yuck.
Stick your tongue out.
Yuck.
And I do love a good old Doctor Who marathon.
Yuck. Yuck. Okay, so that's a bit about us. If you do enjoy our content, please hit like and subscribe to our channel. Leave some comments down below. We love engaging with all of our fans in the comments and having some discussion. It's basically what we do, because we're on our screens the entire time, basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so if you disagree with anything, please let us know. If you agree with stuff and you like what we say, let us know as well. But before we go any further, you're watching The Fortress. All right, so last weekend we went to Supanova Brisbane.
Oh my god, was that only a week ago?
It was a week ago. Can you believe that?
No.
I know. It was...
It seems like so long ago.
Yeah.
It was so intense and so awesome.
A big 3 days, really intense 3 days, as you said, but it was definitely my favourite convention of the year. So we pretty much did all the Eastern Seaboard again.
Yes.
Brisbane Supanova was my favourite by far. Oz Comic Con had the title this year.
Oz Comic Con was Sydney was
yep.
really good, and then I agree, Brisbane overtook that.
Yeah, we'll go over the positives and the negatives, starting with the positives. For me, it was really well run, really organised. The volunteers actually knew what they were doing at this one, which is rare. But for me, it was just very social. Everyone we spoke to, even though we went up there, we didn't record anything like we normally do. We had no... I didn't want to. I wanted to go and be social, and pretty much that's what we ended up doing.
Yeah.
We made a lot of connections. We spoke to a lot of vendors, a lot of different people. We networked ourselves, but we
met fans.
We met fans. Fans met us.
Fans met us.
Yeah. Bit of both ways. But yeah, we got to meet people that listen to us, which is still weird. I'm not used to it.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that I'm just like, why? Do you listen to us? We clearly have no idea what we're doing. But it's great. I mean, I'm really happy that people enjoy listening to us.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah. But no,
someone else gets to listen to your rants and agree or disagree.
Most people should agree. If anyone disagrees, then piss right
Comments
off.
below.
If anyone disagrees with me, then they're wrong. But the cosplayers, there were some amazing cosplays. Brisbane, very wing based.
Yes.
A lot of feathers.
Well, I think it allows the convention hall outside, so just that walkway area allows for those bigger cosplays.
Yeah.
And I think that's what kind of the Brisbane cosplays are known for those bigger builds.
Yeah. I agree. And I mean, you had the Bellas, you had Artful Dodger, who was an amazing Hawk Girl.
Oh, that was just beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. And just some of the details that you can tell, and I've always thought this about the Brisbane crowd, is that they are actually quite passionate about the costumes that they're building.
Yes. They're passionate about the characters that they're cosplaying.
Well, I've found that they're there more to actually, enjoy the convention rather than to stand out and pose as what's popular. That's my own personal finding.
Fair enough.
Just through pure observation. But I mean, they were happy to get involved with photographers. They're happy to get involved with filming. I know Brittany was going around with a camera.
Yes.
And there's a really good video going around on Nova Stream that is of cosplays, which you're in twice. Not that we're, talking that up, but it is actually she did very, very well.
Yeah.
We got to see Britt's panel.
Oh, that was awesome.
Hot Glue, the cosplay documentary, a 20-minute documentary that focuses on 3 cosplayers, Georgia Rose, Thor of Oz, and Team Mountain Ash. They're a duo, so 4 cosplayers. But that was 20 minutes, and it documents different perspectives and different worlds in cosplay, and also Brittany's journey into the world of cosplay.
Yes.
So it was really good to see that in the Q&A. We didn't see any celebrities.
No, this was probably one of the first conventions where we didn't get any autographs done or any photo opportunities done.
I would have loved to meet Christina Ricci.
I would have loved to do John Barrowman again. Yes, and take that as you want, and quote me on that. I will happily do John Barrowman again.
Okay, so we have happily do John Barrowman and take me as you want.
Yes.
Okay, well, you are in a mood, aren't you? My big negative, just on the negatives quickly, were where the panels were located.
Yeah, that it's always been an issue. The one main issue with Brisbane is that, unlike kind of Sydney and Melbourne, where the panels are kind of a little bit closer and everything's kind of like walking between exhibit halls, Brisbane, it is a walking distance.
I wouldn't have a clue where they are in Melbourne.
Really?
I do not know where they are. Well, see, that's for me, that's not good enough either.
Oh no, it's not.
Because the layout of Melbourne is terrible to begin.
Yes.
With that giant hill.
Yeah.
I always forget that middle part's there because I'm just trying to get down the damn hill.
Halfway up the hill between, so you've got one area where the photos were, where we saw
no idea.
The guy that says "Get well soon."
Oh, Manu Bennett. And then on the other side is the theatre. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's missed because it's not advertised enough. Yeah, and that's half the problem. And that was, again, the problem with this convention. They didn't do the speaking over the loud system. It wasn't as consistent as it normally is. No. Well, last year for Stan Lee, they had it going all the time, and they've had it with most conventions going, at this stage, at 11 o'clock, we have such and such going on. Did not hear that at all. However, I do have to give them praise, even though they weren't using the loudspeaker. In Australia, if you are listening from overseas, we have Remembrance Day on the 11th of November at 11 a.m. So 11th of the 11th at 11 a.m. And so it was a Sunday. They didn't use the PA system, but they had the organisers go around and pretty much say to people that were outside the building, please stay quiet, please take your hats off, and please look this direction to show respect for the Anzacs that lost their life. Everyone, they did so well. Everyone, bar a couple of idiots who were disrespectful asshats, were still and took the hat off. It inconvenienced a couple of people, which really shat me out the wall. It did as well, because it looked like they were just walking in from the street and then kind of got bamboozled by everyone standing still. And my issue was that was realised the time, especially on a day that's advertised quite heavily in Australia. I'm sorry, you don't even have to realise the time. Everyone's standing still. Yeah. No one is moving. It should tick over in your head. Hang on. Why is everyone standing still? Something must be going on. I should stand still too. But no, these two dickheads that walked in, they got told to take off their hat and they flung it off like it was inconveniencing them. And then they proceeded to keep edging closer. What is so important that you have to go to that is going to benefit you, as opposed to people who bloody fought in a war to make your lives prosperous and good? I normally don't like wars and I don't like promoting war, but that shat me right up the wall. Oh, and they looked like me too. And they looked like the typical fuckheads that would do that kind of stuff. The typical bogans that would not give a crap about anyone else. It's the concept, and it's not only a generational thing too. It's more of just this: we want things now. Yes. And that's sadly mentality in a lot of people, that they won't even take a minute. Or maybe their ass had only just kicked in. That too. Because they look like junkies. Just saying. But I have to commend them really, really well on that. The stalls were really good. The vendors, there were some great artists. And I'm really happy that they got local artists in their artist alley. I mean, I know they have Dean Ranke and Tom Taylor, who's not an artist, but they get some of the local writers and some of the more profile artists. But I was really pleased that they got some of our friends, in particular Jamie. Yeah. Jamie Johnson, also known as @QuickDraw13. Or is it @QuickDraw88? I think it's QuickDraw something. It's one of those two. Jamie Johnson, just search. And it was good to have him be invited as an artist. I think it's good because you had Philip Tan, who was really friendly. And, he kind of splooshed when I whipped out my X-Men 94. Oh, it's not like it's a big issue or anything. But, I mean, it was good. Yes. This was probably one of the better... even though they didn't have as many big name international artists, they were friendly.
Yeah. Everyone was making eye contact and at least talking to, even if you weren't stopping at the booth, they would go, hey, I really like your cosplay, or
And
hey.
not charging $10 a signature.
Yes.
Yes, thank God for that. But yeah, I really enjoyed a lot of the convention. The people were fantastic. I have to do a really big thanks to Georgia.
Yes.
At Georgia Rose. She is just a completely amazing person. I love her to bits. We love her to bits.
We love her to bits.
Yeah, she spent the whole weekend with us, helping us
network, helping us talk to people that we've only talked to online or had just met for the first time and were being our awkward self.
Yeah, it's hard to meet new people, especially when everyone's in groups and everyone kind of knows other people because they're local. We're not local. It was good to have that connection, and even if we weren't networking, it would have just been fun to spend time with her. I don't like many things, and I like people even less.
Yeah,
she's on the short list of people that I actually admire quite well.
Well done, Georgia.
And she looked freaking amazing.
Yes, she looked gorgeous
all weekend.
All weekend.
Everyone did. You had Shiva cosplay, you had Genie X, you had Ellie, you had Shapeshifter, you had everyone.
Sky Brown.
Oh
my god! It was fantastic.
Yeah, as M'Baku. I mean, there were just so many great costumes, so many great people. Nick the Pixie, she looked amazing as Daenerys, and Patrick, and then the Powerpuff Girls. There was just... it's one of those conventions, and Brisbane's always a favourite. Like, that's why we go there every year. It's just got a sense of community and camaraderie.
Yes, it does.
There's no
definitely.
competition. There's no nothing. I really enjoyed it.
Well, the only type of competition there is literally the cosplay competition. And that you still have people outside after it going, oh my god, I love how you did the detail here. How'd you do that? It's much more communal.
Yeah. So if you want to see some of these cosplays that we're talking about, I mean, you had Amy Isley in Amazing Hawk Girl. You had Beck Jacob in her fantastic Wonder Woman. I don't know how she fits that freaking corset, but she does, and it's amazing. So we've got various photos posted on our handles at Fortress Nerds on Instagram. So check them out and follow all those cosplayers as well. There's just far too many to name. Fall cosplay, just amazing Bombshell Wonder Woman.
That was brilliant.
Like, there's just far too many. The photographers, they were really good. They weren't just targeting the popular cosplayers. They were going around to various others, and it was great.
And it was interesting. One of the cosplays I did was a art germ variant on a Black Canary.
Tell everyone what your cosplays you did.
So Friday was Black Cat. The plan was Power Girl, but issues happened. So Black Cat came out, and that was such a good idea.
And then issues happened.
And then issues happened again. Walking to the con, my zipper decided to break. So I cannot thank the people at Cosplay HQ enough for literally stitching me into my suit, because I would have been stuck without you guys. So thank you. Black Cat was a great hit, especially with Georgia as my MJ. Then Sunday was my Black Canary art germ variant, and this isn't your typical Black Canary. This isn't a black bodysuit and blue jacket. This is bright blue and gold. She is beautiful with a massive megaphone. And it was really nice having photographers and people come up and not do just the, oh, who are you? And actually go, oh, what cosplay are you doing? Oh, I'm this variation of Black Canary. Oh my god, that's so cool. And then realising what the character was.
Put two and two together.
And it was great. And then I debuted my art germ Raven as well on Sunday, which was again a massive hit.
Yes. A lot of leg.
A lot of leg.
A lot of leg. I do also have to say thank you to Supanova for the way that they handled the incident that we had. I had heard rumblings of several incidents throughout the day. We unfortunately did have an incident where someone took a photo of Julia's butt without consent. So I reported it, and they took action straight away, which was fantastic. It's great to see. The only thing that they didn't have, there weren't many cosplayers not consent signs around. There was a couple, at the entrance.
But at the entrance, they're not posted continually as what I would like as a cosplayer.
But they did take action straight away. And it was good, because that was the second time that day, actually. Was it that day?
No, it wasn't that day. It was the day before as well, and I think it was the same guy.
Yeah. So that was a couple of times, but they took action. And it's interesting, that experience, because I've said in a couple of our podcasts several times that, you know, if it happens to you, report it straight away. It doesn't matter. I've changed my perception on that. Having gone through that moment, it takes a while to register.
It does, and especially with that first instance with me at Cosplay HQ, I was so mortified by someone actually taking a photo of me in one of my most vulnerable feeling moments.
Well, you were fully...
My zipper had broke, so it was down to the belly button. My bra was showing. I had taken off my black cat corset so the zipper could get fixed, and I couldn't move without splitting the zipper further. And to have this guy start taking a photo of me, I was trying to pull it together and turn and hide. I elbowed you at the time, and you were like, why are you elbowing me? Why are you so grumpy?
Yeah, communicate
and
with me.
I couldn't verbalize that there is a creep literally there taking a photo of me. Stop it.
Yes.
Because I was so scared.
Yes, and my response immediately after was, why didn't you just tell me? Then the next incident happened where I saw it and you didn't, and I froze.
Yeah.
I was like, did that just happen? Did that actually happen? And I had to confer in a couple of other people that were around. They're like, did he just take a photo of your butt? And I'm like, yeah. It's that thing where, because I've spoken to people where it's happened to them, and I've just been like, just tell. I will now admit that it is quite difficult to tell, and I'm happy to admit that I was maybe a bit ignorant on, being immediately reactive, but you don't know how you're going to react until it happens.
Exactly.
I thought I would have reacted completely different because I was all macho and yeah, I'll make sure he doesn't get back in, and then it happened. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But they reacted really well. That was the only negative, the real negative for the convention, and it wasn't even
and it's not even the convention's fault, though.
No, but they handled it really well. And I have nothing to fault with this convention aside from the distance between the panel areas.
Yep.
And even then, I'm not going to fault it because there are that many good photo ops for cosplayers around that area.
Yeah.
Like you have the fans that are iconic and you get the dress blowing up. It's one of those things that it's a minor gripe. It could possibly be fixed, but that's the design of the building as well.
It's the design of the building and the venue as well. And the venue is such a good venue too. Because it allows for a lot more a communal aspect where you're not outside in the elements. You can go outside if you want to, but you can be inside with the aircon. It's a very weather-friendly event, unlike Melbourne in particular.
Hence why there were so many black canaries.
Oh my god, there were so many black canaries on the Saturday as well. Saturday and Sunday. It was beautiful to see. I just want to kind of gather them all together just to get an awesome freaking photo. And where we probably should move Niffler after that little...
I'll hold him.
But I've put money in him.
You have put money in him. I don't know how. You're poor.
Yeah, I know. 5-cent pieces.
They don't add that much weight.
They don't add that much
weight. A fantastic convention. Great way to top off the convention season. We don't have anything until next year now.
Great way to end the convention season and to get that last little oomph for next year and that. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
Weapon X coming.
Because I think we're trying to go to Gold Coast and Adelaide next year as opposed to Melbourne.
Yes. Definitely.
Sorry, Melburnians.
We'll try for PAX.
But if you want us to come down, just invite us. But yeah, we'll try and come for PAX. It all depends on money and work. But great way to top it off. And I heard Adelaide the week before was fantastic as well. I'm done with it. It was great. It was 3 full days. We were there from 8 till 6 every day.
Not every day. Friday we were there from 12 to close.
12 to 6.
12 to 6.
And then we were there from 8 till 6 Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
We were buggered.
We were buggered.
But it was worth it. The entire thing was worth it.
Yeah.
But before we go on to the next topic, which is a very sad topic, I do want to just promote our little friends here at Geek Sleeves. So Geek Sleeves is a little organisation run by our friend Heidi, also known as Heidzi. And what they are is that they are protectors for books. They're book protectors.
So at the moment they have my 2 copies of Vampirella. Omnibuses in it. Now these are fantastic because if you're like me and you just throw books in your bag, they get damaged. And you get really annoyed when corners start peeling and things bend. So this is a great way to protect those corners and those spines and keep them padded in your bag. Yes,
but also what's good about them is that a lot of the time, not all the time, but a lot of the time, it's from the material that's used is through fabrics that are recycled from the costumes that she makes. Being an amazing cosplayer, so it's not like we're wasting any resources. It's sustainable.
Reuse. But also she finds some magnificent prints as well online. So like she has a great range of Harry Potter ones and like these really cool ones, they're horror ones that she searches and finds for just to make these as well. So some of them, they're really unique. Each is individual and each is really special, and so much love is put into them.
Yeah, it's a nice little business, a nice little hobby. So you can find them on Instagram and Facebook. I'll put the links down below, but Instagram's at geek_sleeves. So yeah, make sure you check them out, and they're quite cheap, $20 for one, I think.
Yes, unless they're a specific print that they've got in, then it's $25.
Yeah, so nice and cheap and protects everything. So that's our friend Heidi's little business. So check them out, please. But moving on to the next topic, it has been a very sad week for comic fans.
Yeah.
And me.
And movie fans as well of comic book genre. Yes. And in general, just a sad week.
Who I like, the movie fans who I like to call the I think I know it alls. Read a comic. But Stan Lee, the legend, the man himself, passed away at the ripe old age of 95, very close to turning 96 as well. We had the, I'll say honour, not pleasure.
It was an honour. It was an honour.
We had the honour of meeting him last year at Brisbane Supanova on his that was literally his final international.
His last international tour.
Yes, his final international tour. We got to see him at a panel. I got to get Fantastic Four 48 signed by him, which is the first appearance of Silver Surfer and first Galactus, and X-Men 1, not the good X-Men 1, the Jim Lee X-Men 1, X-Men Volume 2, Issue 1. Yeah, so got them signed. We got to see panels with him. He was with it.
He was on the ball.
He was with it till at 95 to have that type of wit, even though he's deaf and kind of blind.
He had so much sass. He was like the sass queen.
He did, and it's a shame that the legacy was tarnished. Well, it wasn't tarnished. People tried to tarnish it in the last year by people trying to take advantage of someone that old. With his manager, who we thought was lovely when we met him, turns out he's a bit of a scumbag.
Yeah.
But it was amazing just listening to him speak, all of his stories. He turned all of his anecdotes into jokes. That was his personality, larger than life.
Yes.
Which is what he created in the comics, larger than life characters that were relatable.
Yeah.
Like he left that much of a legacy. You got to we got photos with him.
We got photo ops. I was dressed up as Spider-Man or Mary Jane Spider-Man variant. It was
You were
awesome.
a spider. Yeah. You were one of the only people he actually looked up at.
Yeah.
At that point. But yeah, a sad day. Lots of good tributes to come out.
Yeah.
Which is good. What were you going to say?
It was sad, but it was great innings for 95 as well.
Oh yeah, God, yeah.
Yeah.
Very good innings. And it's great to see actually the entire comic community and pop culture community come together and mourn and honor him. There's been some great artwork. There's been some great tributes. I mean, you've had some dickheads who have come out and tried to. You have the comic vendors who've tried to profit off his death, but then you've had idiots like Bill Mayer who've come out and said that people are dumber for having having read comic books. They're celebrating a guy who. He's a guy who tries to stay relevant by being a controversial shock. He's the American Alan Jones.
Oh, God.
Yeah, an idiot. He's essentially an idiot, and pretty much everyone has turned on him for these comments. They've only happened in the last day.
Okay.
So he's basically scum of the earth at the moment.
Good.
Because he's tried.
Sounds it.
Yeah, he's tried to ruin. He's tried to discredit Stan and everything that he did.
Do it when the guy's dead. Well done. You feel proud?
But that's how these people operate. They operate by targeting people who can't defend themselves.
Yes.
It's how most people on the internet are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Screen
protection.
Screen protection.
Yeah, normally costs $15.
Depending on what device.
Yeah, and cracks. But yeah, I put out the question to our fans to say what were the highlights of Stan Lee for them. I put it out on Instagram. I put a little question. What about Stan inspired you? And I got a lot of responses. But the first one I want to share with you is a personal story by our good friend Sean Fewster. He has been lovely enough to send us a video of the time when he met Stan Lee in Adelaide a few years ago.
Yes.
And it's absolutely lovely. I think it was 2015. I think. He gave me the date and I can't remember it. But I'm sure it was 20. Yeah, I'm so sorry. But yeah, he sent it, and here it is in all of its glory. It's a little 30-second clip of the time he met Stan Lee.
All right, here we go.
This is why I write the words, I don't take the photos. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. If you don't mind.
One more
Stan,
few.
we spoke on the phone. Sean Fewster is my name.
Say that
Sean, we spoke on the phone. Sean Fewster is my name.
Oh, yeah.
You wrote me the letter one day a long time ago and helped me be confident to be a journalist.
I hope I wrote it well.
You really did.
Okay, that's good.
So thank you.
Let's look at the camera.
Here we go.
Oh, thank you very much, Stan.
Beautiful.
So after that, you became a journalist.
I did.
All on account of me.
All on account of
So
you.
send me money.
I will. I will. Well, I've bought enough comics over the years. I'm hoping that that's given you some of the money you
It's
need.
probably more than enough.
So yeah, that was a great little 30-second clip, and Stan once again showing his charm and charisma by trying to profit off of Sean's
yes.
Sean's career as a journalist, which he's very successful at. But we put out the question to our fans, and we had a couple of responses. So Nathan, aka Dodzy Hulk Smash, said his memorable moment was Brisnova in 2017, so the one that we went to for my birthday, and he said, "Hey, how are you?" in my photos. So another one that got a response, which is good. And I mean, to get him to actually speak, because if you went into the photo booth, it was a you go in, you don't touch him, you don't go near him, and he's literally just doing the same pose the entire time. So yeah, to get a response out of him at that point was really good. Atomic Cosplay said what has inspired him are Amazing Fantasy 15, Tales of Suspense 39, and Daredevil issue 1. What can I say? I'm old-fashioned.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are. And it's good. Amazing Fantasy is one of the best stories ever. And we have our lovely friend Joel, who said his inspired works are Amazing Spider-Man 3, which is the first appearance of Doc Ock, which is his favourite character.
Nice.
So a lot of Spider-Man legacy there. And Bateman Beyond said, it's actually a quote by Stan, which is, "Never give up on your dreams. When I first wrote Spider-Man, my publisher said I was crazy because people hate spiders and insects, and he was not going to publish it. But I never gave up until it was published." Mm-hmm. Words to live by. Never give up. But yeah, it was he had one of those legacies. And I mean, he did so much for his fans. It was ridiculous just how much he actually did for his fans. He'd stay back hours on end to keep signing the autographs. And I mean, ultimately, even though he has passed, his autograph is essentially worthless because the market's flooded. But it's still one of those. It's still one of those things that is so iconic, and it's just memorable for anyone who wasn't looking to make a profit off of it.
Yeah.
Just to meet the idol.
It's priceless for anyone who knows the worth of Stanley in the sense of just meeting your idol or meeting a hero.
Yeah, just what he has contributed to not only popular culture but the entire culture of civilization. He's created an entire medium essentially of heroes that people look up to that are the most popular at the moment. And that took 60 years nearly.
Yeah, took decades.
It took ages, and then you had the issues in Marvel in the 90s where they went bankrupt and sold all the rights. I mean, I think one of the best things that happened in recent years was the Spider-Man movie being made under the Marvel banner.
Yeah.
Because we watched Spider-Man: Homecoming last night again.
Yeah.
And not gonna lie, got a bit sad when he
got a bit sad when he was like,
yeah, when he came on the screen.
Yeah.
But he's got cameos still coming. He's got Captain Marvel, he's got Avengers 4, and Far From Home.
Yep.
They're the ones he's recorded. So he's still got more Stan coming our way.
And it's going to be so sad to
It
see.
is going to be
but
sad.
worth it.
I also have a feeling they're going to make one sad, potentially.
Maybe.
I don't know. But yeah, a really influential man with a great life and an amazing career. Like, I strongly recommend going and having a look at any of his stories and how he created the Marvel method. Like, he created relatable heroes to us. They weren't the one-dimensional heroes that DC had. He made them relevant in the real world, set in Manhattan, New York, and they had the same struggles that we had every day, which is something that Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman did not do.
Yeah.
And technically still do not do.
Still do not do.
Because Marvel rules, bitches. But yeah, great life lived and has left such an imprint on the world.
On the world, definitely.
Yeah. And me.
And me.
And you.
So,
What came out?
Fantastic Beasts, Crimes of Grindelwald.
Should be aptly titled Not So Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of JK Rowling.
Oh my god. So, anyone about to listen to this, we may give away mild spoilers, so skip a couple of minutes. But
To be fair,
we won't do any main ones.
no, but to be fair, Rowling spoilt the entire movie herself by making it a nonsensical plot that is literally riddled in continuity errors.
Oh my god.
There is no consistency in this movie. The pacing is off. We have a review up on our channel. We didn't do the review. Some lovely friends of ours, Jackie and Mel, did. They liked it. We do not. No. So this is our review. This is my review.
And mine.
My review.
Oh.
So, okay, you go. It's your baby. Harry Potter's your baby.
Harry Potter's my baby, so the continuity errors in this movie drove me up the frickin' wall. Seriously. There were just sometimes where I'm sitting there just going, this does not make sense. This does not work. And by the end of it, the major reveal, you're sitting there going, that doesn't work.
Nope. Doesn't work.
I have been rattling my brain through Pottermore, through readings, through extended research. It does not make sense.
It's the Chewbacca defense. It does not make sense.
If anyone wants to add comments below, so don't read comments on Harry Potter, it's put spoiler warnings up the top so you don't spoil it for everyone, because protect the secrets. But seriously, that ending pissed me right off.
Protect what secrets? Protect a crap movie? I'm sorry, but that was an absolute crap fest. I was bored from get-go. There was nonsensical plots. They built up an entire character.
To kill her.
Wow, that's not a spoiler. They built up an entire character to have an irrelevant plot to the entire thing. Yeah. And also, we think it's going to tie into a character later in the series. But no, it can't possibly do it except through the Faja. That is the only way. And I hated it because I liked her. She was my favourite character.
She was one of the best female characters in there.
Tina Goldstein. Fuck her off.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Piss her off.
She did a Indiana Jones in the sense that Raiders of the Lost Ark, you could have removed Indy and the plot would have remained the same.
You could have removed Newt and the plot would have remained the same. Where were the beasts?
Where were the beasts?
The beasts were there at the start, and there was one little lion beast in the middle. An Asian lion beast.
If you were going to call it Fantastical Beast, put frickin' beasts in it.
You know what it should be called? And I've said this from the get-go, because they're limiting what it can possibly be.
Yep.
It should be called Wizarding World.
Yes.
It's an extended universe. It's Wizarding World.
Allow for the extended universe. Don't limit it just because you already have a book out called Fantastical Beasts.
Yep. And I'm sure there's a porn parody called Fantastical Breasts.
My other issue, major issue, was the changing of the production. It had a lot of point of view filming,
yeah, it was
which was really weird and really off-putting. If it was in the first movie, I would have ran with it a lot better, but these really close-up faces of Newt and people from Newt's point of view as well, and then literally the shaky iPhone camera.
Yeah, that was bad.
I wanted to get up and leave at that point and just go, why am I watching this?
Yeah.
Because it felt so dodgy.
Yeah. And I mean, I feel bad because we were invited by Roadshow to go to it. I feel bad that we are slaughtering this. But you got to be honest with this stuff.
It needs it though.
We aren't paid off.
If it had like the CGI and apart from those point of views and that shaky iPhone camera, it was visually spectacular.
Yes, it was.
The beasts were gorgeous when you saw them. The costume detailing was amazing. The wand detail, how Grindelwald or Grindelwald? Let's start that argument. And how Jude
Law... He must
Law,
be German. The Germans are evil!
How Jude Law and Johnny Depp portrayed both those characters. That was beautiful.
I have an issue.
You have an issue.
I have an issue with Johnny Depp. Not Johnny Depp in the way he portrayed it. I actually have an issue with the way Grindelwald was delivered throughout the entire movie. He was not evil. He's meant to be this evil wizard, this ruthless... okay, what?
No, he's not described as evil too much. What they didn't play on was that more... They gave his henchmen more things to do.
But he's meant to have committed terrible atrocities.
Yeah, I agree.
He got his henchmen to do it. The henchmen killed the baby. Who she was hot, by the way. I really liked her. She looked stunning.
She was stunning, and I think
I like the outfit.
I think Hannah is going to be cosplaying that next year. So
yes,
spoilers.
I did see that, and Hannah, I'll accept your apology for saying that you think it might be a good movie, and you didn't. But yeah, I didn't think he was like they called it the crimes of Grindelwald. What crimes are we seeing?
Yeah, he didn't really
a lot of the character development was done before the movie even started. We had the relationship between Jacob and Queenie. That had re-blossomed. He got his memories back. That was shown...
30 seconds.
But it wasn't even shown. It was off screen. It was before the movie started. We came in and we're expected to connect with these characters again.
And we got a 30-second explanation of it, which wasn't really clear enough.
Yeah, the good memories stayed, but the bad memories went. It was weird.
Yeah.
But I think it was cheap. I think it was a tactic that is. I think Rowling is becoming Lucas.
Yes.
In the fact that she's
Lucified.
She's literally just trying to make money now.
Yep.
And she has essentially created her own continuity warps, and she's going to be trying to correct them as she goes.
One of the main ones you pointed out, which I didn't realise at the time,
McGonagall.
was McGonagall at Hogwarts. Now, you did a little bit of research into this to find when McGonagall was actually born,
Yes.
and in theory, she is not born by the time of this movie. So that
Yes.
McGonagall that we see isn't the one we know.
Yes, so this movie takes place before the Second World War, which
Yes.
is alluded to because that's one of the visions that Grindelwald has. Oh no, not a German in the war.
Oh,
Oh
not the
dear.
Germans in the war.
Oh dear.
We do not mention the war.
No, don't mention the war. I think I mentioned it once, but I might have gotten away with it. This film takes place around 1927-ish to the early 30s. In Pottermore, in a backstory that Rowling wrote herself
Yep.
and did a really big tale about how she was taught by Dumbledore at Hogwarts and everything. She wasn't born until the mid-30s.
Yep.
She was not born. Not 18, not going to school. Born. So
Yep.
she's a teacher at this point.
Or it's not a mistress. It's
She's a teacher. She's in charge of like a ward kind of thing.
yeah, like a ward aspect.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't necessarily teaching class, so she may have been a ward. So you can put her at maybe minimum 20,
But still.
but still,
It-
no.
It's created loopholes and contradictions that are terrible. You have the Credence reveal, which is cringeworthy.
that is not how phoenixes are created.
Yep. But the whole issue is she is changing continuity to appease movie fans,
Yeah.
not these people who have followed the books from day
No.
one. And that's. I mean, I hate Brian Michael Bendis. He does the same thing in comics. He just ignores continuity. But if you're going to have a site called Pottermore where you are detailing a backstory of characters that is intricate, at least be consistent.
Yeah, and that consistency, that it drove me up the wall that it wasn't there, because I just want a flowing story,
But
not one with 5 different plots.
But whoever edited that movie
Needs to be shot.
needs to be shot. I do not know how Jacob ended up in that tomb. He was not there at all.
How did they go from the sewer to the middle of the frickin' street? And don't tell me they apparated, because they didn't frickin' show it.
Oh, that's another continuity error she's made.
Oh yeah, apparating on
can't
Hogwarts?
Yeah.
I don't care if you're the Ministry of Magic, you still can't apparate on Hogwarts
Yeah.
ground.
But I mean, then they're in the ministry, and then they somehow end up in the Lestrange family tomb. How did that work? It does not make any sense, and she's got to be stopped.
How is this, like, I ended this and thought, oh yeah, we've got one more movie.
Can we just have
Can
a
we just
Niffler
have
movie?
a Niffler movie?
That's all we want.
Please?
He was
That's
a
all I
star.
want. Where were my baby Nifflers? I wanted more baby Nifflers.
But you had the other guy, the other
The chick that had a crush on Newt, that was there, that got bitten, and then, you shouldn't do it because the thing will bite, and then nothing appeared of it.
well, that, but there was also the other person that came in after Newt turned down the ministry, the evil
Oh yeah.
magic finder. He
What
had
was
2
that?
scenes, and he was meant to be like, keep an eye on him, and you never see him again.
Yeah.
Like there was too many characters for its own good.
Yeah.
It would have been better if, I mean, the first movie had 2 different plot points that didn't link. This had far too many characters and too many subplots
That didn't link.
that didn't link, that did not blend, and the editing.
It was oil and water.
Yeah,
It tried
was.
to mix through,
It
but you
was.
just had bubbles of inconsistency.
It's Expelliarmus.
It's Expelliarmus.
Yep, they
Yeah,
used it for
the
everything.
overused. Yeah.
Yeah, so my personal opinion, it's a 5. It's a sound movie in terms of
Yes.
visuals, and the costume designs do not get enough credit.
The costumes don't get enough credit. The visual doesn't get enough credit. The music doesn't get enough credit.
But in terms of actual
In terms
story
of
and plot and
story
cohesion,
everything, I'm like 5.5.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Just.
and I don't care what revelations get announced from it. That does not make the movie
No.
great. It's like Ant-Man and Wasp. You got the 10 seconds at the end where they're in the quantum realm
Does
and
not
disappear.
make it a good movie.
Yeah. Oh my god, no! Piss
No.
off! You had 2 hours of waiting for something good to happen in the first place.
Yep.
That's what this movie is. Yeah.
So, now that we've done that rant, what else is left to talk about from the week that was?
There's a bit of casting. There's been a lot of news that we've missed because we've been away, so I'm just going to do the recent stuff because I'm sure you've heard it all before. One of the rumours that's going around at the moment is that good old Bucky, aka Sebastian Stan, may not be appearing in Avengers 4.
Oh no!
Yeah, did you hear that? You didn't hear that one?
I didn't hear this one. What?
Yeah,
How's Bucky not going to be in Avengers 4?
That's the rumour going around.
No!
He's still dust in the wind.
Oh.
Yes, Dusty. Dusty is his name,
Dusty,
not Bucky.
not Bucky.
Yeah, so that's interesting. That was reported by comicbook.com, so not a very reputable source. At least it's not comic. At least it's not comic book resources. But in other news, we've got the first casting in The Mandalorian, which is Pedro Pascal.
Oh.
Yes, who played Oberon
Yeah.
in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
very interesting.
Very interesting actor.
So he's got charisma. He's he's got action abilities.
He's got screen presence.
Yep. The accent will be fantastic.
Yes.
I don't know how he speaks. I do know how he speaks, but it's not
You
like
can't
that.
mimic it.
I cannot mimic it. No.
No, that just sounds like Antonio Banderas.
Yeah. So he's the only lead announced now. There's probably going to be more, but seeing it's the Mandalorian singular, he's probably going to be taking on the role of whatever Mandalorian they do. Like we don't know whether it's going to be a Boba Fett story, a Jango Fett story, if it's just going to be on Mandalore. But it'll be very interesting to see. So they're developing that for the Disney streaming service, which will be interesting. Speaking of the Disney streaming service, they've had so many different series announced. Like there's a Loki series, a Scarlet Witch and Vision series, and a team up that no one should care about. I know I don't. The only reason I'll half care about it, and that's a team up of Winter Soldier and Falcon.
What?
Yeah, it's a buddy series.
Buddy cop series? Because what are they going to do together?
I don't know, but Anthony Mackie should be counting his lucky stars. He's getting any type of acting.
Role, yeah.
Anyone who's listened to, I think, episode 9 of this podcast knows that Anthony Mackie should be. He's essentially proof that a higher power exists.
Yes.
That he even has work. But so yeah, they've announced some series. Tom Hiddleston's replying Loki. So for everyone who they're not saying whether it's going to be a prequel series or a post-Avengers series, because he's supposedly dead, but he didn't turn blue and all that theory. Loki can't be dead, blah 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 blah. He didn't use his right hand, he used his left, which is only his mirror thing. And I hate
don't
reading
care
the internet.
as long as I get some more Tom, I'm happy.
Thanks, Tom.
Yep,
so that's the casting news. And one more piece of casting news is that we have got our Cassie Kane in Birds of Prey in a newbie. I don't know if she's been in anything else, but she's a newcomer, and her name is Ella J. Basco.
Ooh.
Yeah, so she's playing Cassandra Cain.
Awesome.
Not sure whether she's going to be Orphan at this stage or if she's going to be Batgirl. They haven't been clear with what.
Don't care. Give us new actors. Give us fresh blood.
Yep. Get rid of Margot. Yeah, but so yeah, that's going to be in the Birds of Prey.
Get rid of Harley.
Yeah, so she'll be joining Mary Elizabeth Winstead and Jonice Smollett-Bell,
awesome,
who are playing Huntress and Black Canary, and
awesome,
Margot, who's playing Harley. So yeah, it's going to be. I'll be interested to see how she goes, because Cassie is generally portrayed as a younger character. I mean, in the Rebirth series, she's quite young. So it'll be interesting to see whether she maintains the muteness as well, or the kind of inability to talk properly. Yeah, and I'm super happy because I just found her debut issue in my comic boxes that we moved the other day. So yes, ching ching, even though it's modern and not worth much. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, there's been Swamp Thing casting. I can't remember who is cast in that, but they've cast the lead and the lead villain in Swamp Thing as well. And actually, what's happened since Stan's passing is that Bryan Cranston has started lobbying to play him in a biopic.
Oh.
He would be good.
He would be good.
He'd be very good. So I'd definitely go with that. Actually, I have been petitioning this for a while in my own head. I haven't actually put out a petition. I should do, because every time I have a premonition.
You do have a lot of premonitions that you should probably verbalise so you can turn around and say you were right.
Yeah, this date, this episode.
Yep.
So,
This date, this episode, Trent believes.
well, this was not me. This was Boss Logic confirming. And normally if Boss Logic does something, the internet just goes crazy. And it's also Kevin Feige who has come out and said, now would be the perfect time for Namor to join the MCU.
Oh, this was this bit of tidbit that you... Yep.
Yeah, I definitely think Namor would be best suited to come in as the Black Panther 2 villain.
Nice.
I don't know how it would happen. Two monarchs going to war, I guess.
Yep.
But I don't really want Black Panther to be retracing the steps within Wakanda and dealing with issues there.
Go outside and
Yeah.
expand the universe even more.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, some Wakandans could have a seaside base that, you know, they get attacked by Atlanteans.
Well, not only that, you're looking at Wakanda expanding itself out as well. So Atlanteans attacking that way because, you know, they realise that now this other secret, you know, there's some good storylines in there that you can play.
Well, I do find it interesting, and I wouldn't be surprised if Namor made an appearance in Avengers 4 because Marvel has started using him again.
Ooh.
Like, quite prominently.
Prominently?
They died down using him, which they should have been using him a lot with the Aquaman press going on to try and get people interested in Namor, because Namor came before Aquaman. And in my eyes, he's better than Aquaman. Please, Arthur can't hold a cent to Namor.
I'm not talking about Arthur.
No. Jason can't hold a cent to Namor. Namor walks around wearing bloody scale underpants.
Yeah, I still have a lot of respect to that Namor cosplayer we met at
Yes.
Comic Con Sydney because everyone kept on calling him Aquaman. And I think when we shouted out,
Namor!
He was like, yes!
Yes, win! It's a win! But yeah, I think Avengers 4 would be good to have a little cameo. I mean, there's been hints of Atlantis in the Marvel Universe. It was in Iron Man 2? Or The Incredible Hulk? No, it was in Iron Man 2. I'm sure. It was in one movie.
Well, there's no doubt.
They had a map. And yeah, so I think it's the right time. Marvel have been using him. He's turned into a villain again, so having him as a villain in a movie like Black Panther would be good. Him and T'Challa have a really big rivalry. Like, T'Challa killed him. Not killed him, they tried to kill him.
Nice.
The Squadron Supreme killed him. But yeah, he basically went to war with Atlantis in the New Avengers and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I would love to see Namor get his due. I mean, it's hard because Universal have the rights, kind of like the Hulk, so how they use him would be interesting. But apparently Marvel have figured out all the contract elements to be able to use him. So fingers crossed. Yeah, because I would love Namor. Big time.
Big time.
And it would make Black Panther 2 amazing.
It would.
But yeah, I think that's it for this episode.
Yeah.
Short and
I
sweet.
think that's short and sweet. Everything we've touched on. If we missed anything, let us know in the comments below. If we missed something important that you want to discuss, hit us up on our socials.
Yeah. And a big thank you for everyone for the 30th birthday wishes and the presents. Big thank you to Billy, who got me the Legend of Zelda shirt that I wore in the Detective Pikachu trailer reaction. You didn't have to do that. That was lovely. But yeah, if you like what you see, please hit like and subscribe. Please tell your friends about us and share the links around. Any bit of help is appreciated. Engage with us in the comments. Our handles are going around the screen. You can find us at Fortress Nerds, or if you're listening on a podcast, you can just type in The Fortress on your favorite podcast app and find us. If you are listening without video, you want to watch us on YouTube, just type in youtube.com/The Fortress AUS. And yeah, that's about it. As always, you're watching
The
Fortress.